Hello lovely viewers, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful News official YouTube channel, your top destination for the most explosive CBS soap updates. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy's horror and a shocked shooting as the gun goes off. Steffy Forrester is absolutely horrified. There is a shot fired on Monday. It looks like Steffy was trying to get away from Luna Nozawa, with Sheila Carter kind of distracting Luna by showing up out of the blue, but Luna realizes Steffy's trying to get away and says, "Not so fast." Sheila is interfering with Luna. She's up in her face. The two are, nose to nose almost. Things go awry, and the gun goes off. Luna and Sheila look to be struggling over the gun when it goes off. Luna looks to be in pain. She may have been shot, or she may simply be horrified that she shot her grandmother. But that's not going to be the only bullet that's fired. And because more shots are fired, I tend to think maybe Sheila gets shot first. We'll see. Hospital drama, Lee's surprising statements and Finn's dilemma. So, over at the hospital, Lee Finnegan surprises her son Finn with her statements about Luna. I would anticipate that Lee would be cold and heartless and assert that she ought to be imprisoned or submerged 6 feet. She might shock Finn if she's actually worried about Luna. I tend to think she'd probably be more worried about Steffy, but then again, that is her granddaughter. And I'm always interested to hear what Lee says because she can be pretty rough, pretty mercenary. I mean, she stood there watching while Sheila was having a heart attack and didn't move to help her in her capacity as a doctor. So, you never know what you're going to get with Lee. She's kind of like a box of chocolates, with Forrest Gump. So, you just never know. Steffy's peril, Liam's sacrifice and a desperate rescue mission. Tuesday, July 8th, Steffy's family members realize that Luna is after her. No doubt because Sheila came to the Malibu beach house all alarmed and wrung out from Taylor Hayes exactly where Steffy went to and then ran off in a panic. So, Taylor is probably going to tell Ridge Forrester, and he was over talking to Hope Logan and Liam, which is very important. People are trying to find Steffy and Luna, aka her would-be killer, before it's too late and something bad happens to Steffy. So, at one point, and it looks like it's on Tuesday, maybe late on Monday, but probably Tuesday, Liam has left Forrester Creations. He's over outside the art school. He calls Hope to tell her how much he loves her. In a movie, when somebody says something like that, you think, oh no, they're going to die. So, in this case, this does not seem like a good omen. Bold and the Beautiful, multiple gunshot victims and potential fatalities. Steffy's horrified when Luna reveals something and then makes her next move. She may reveal, "Oh, no, I shot my grandma." And then, maybe decides she's going to go ahead and kill Steffy, so there's no witnesses and she runs off. I don't know. It's not going to be pretty because by the end of Tuesday's episode, it looks like there's 2 more gunshot victims. Now, that may carry over into Wednesday's episode, but the bottom line is by Wednesday, 3 people have been shot. Liam has showed up at the art school hoping to find and protect Steffy. So, he's on the list of people who might be shot. Even if Luna is one of the 3 who is shot, I do think she's probably going to be responsible for all 3 bullets. There's nobody else in the house that's going to be trying to shoot anybody unless somebody gets the gun away from her and they shoot Luna. So, in the house by Tuesday, we've got Liam, the teacher, Steffy, Sheila, and Luna. That's 5 people with 3 shots. So, the odds are stacked against everybody. Shooting the teacher is possible. She's a throwaway though. So, I would expect Sheila, Luna, and Liam, just based on some other spoilers I'm going to tell you about for later in the week. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Carter's vow, hospital chaos, and life-threatening surgeries. Wednesday, July 9th. Carter Walton vows to Hope he'll be a good stepdad to Beth, but says they should hope that Liam will be involved as long as possible. So, it sounds like they're talking about his terminal cancer, not the shooting because at this point, they probably don't even know what has happened, but it definitely seems like Liam is going to wind up hospitalized from either a bullet or the cancer this week. So, also on Wednesday, we've got 3 people at the hospital. They have been shot. They all head into surgery. Performing the surgeries are Lee Finnegan, Grace Buckingham, and Bridget Forrester. The fact that Finn isn't doing one of the surgeries, maybe because he was off looking for Steffi, or maybe he can't because he's related to people. You know, if Sheila is shot, that's his mom. It would be his daughter if Luna were shot. If Liam is shot, you know that that's family, too. So, it's very complicated. Bold and the Beautiful, a fatal loss and shocking revelations. Thursday, July 10th, we find out that one person does not survive the surgery. So, 3 go in, 1 doesn't make it out. Obviously, Lisa Yamada is the best choice for her character to die because she is heading over to film a new series at Amazon Prime. She's leaving anyway, so Luna's dying would at least give everybody closure. Liam, played by Scott Clifton, has already succumbed to that terminal tumor. I still feel like he's going to get a miracle cure. Therefore, it makes more sense for Luna to raise daisies. We'll see if they pull out a big surprise for us. And a difficult truth is discovered about Liam. And while this could be that he didn't make it through surgery, I feel like it could be about his dad, Bill Spencer, finding out that his son's dying of cancer. Family drama and confrontations at the hospital because on Friday, we've got more Bill Spencer. Friday, July 11th, Poppy Nozawa shocks Lee with something she says very firmly. Sounds like it's probably about Luna. I mean, it'd be kind of awful if Liam died and Luna survived, but is going to be spending her life behind bars. You know, Poppy might tell her sister that, you know, she always loved Finn, he was the love of her life. Or if Luna dies, Poppy may say it is the best outcome. You know, Bill, meanwhile, is up at the hospital and he is facing the anger that everyone's aiming at him and he acknowledges it's deserved. He just wants to see Liam. So, could be because he's dead, but I think not. We'll see how it goes. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Finn's distress, Liam's secret, and a potential miracle. July 14th through the 18th, Finney's distraught. No matter who dies, Luna or Liam / or slim chance, that is Sheila, his mom. Obviously, Finn's going to be upset since we've got his daughter, his mom, and his new bestie, at risk of dying. Steffi is obviously not going to die unless for some reason Jackie Woods decided to leave the show, but we've got spoilers that she is going to be doing this remote shoot in Italy and we're going to see those episodes later this month on Bold and the Beautiful. So, it's not Steffi. We know that just from other things that have leaked out. So, it looks like Liam's secret is out at last. Bill and others find out the truth about Liam's terminal brain tumor. Even if Liam's shot and survives, the cancer's still an issue. Unless, of course, Luna shoots him right in the tumor and that somehow turns into a miracle cure. I mean, you know, it's a soap opera. Bold and the Beautiful, major fallout, shifting romances, and family reunions. Bill is absolutely terrified he'll lose Liam and this whole shooting incident could have huge ramifications on Hope's life because if it turns into a situation where Liam gets a miracle cure, then Carter probably doesn't stand a snowball's chance in heck of getting Hope down the aisle. We'll see. Major fallout from the shooting. This death changes everything. And this could also be the end of Poppy on BNB soon because either Luna's dead or imprisoned for life once it all shakes out. Look for the storyline attention to shift to Brooke Logan's blossoming romance with Nick in the wake of her heartache over Ridge accepting Taylor's proposal and crushing any hopes of a reunion with Brooke Logan, at least for now. But of course that will change later this month thanks to some other spoilers that we got from Brad Bell. And expect Taylor and Ridge to be stunned by the danger Steffi faced. And this pulls them closer together as a family. Things are going to change for Sheila after this as well. Before John Finnegan rushed in, Liam Spencer shielded Steffi Forrester and fired at Luna Nozawa. At the beach house, Sheila Sharp fell to the floor with a gunshot wound to the foot. Steffi reeled over Luna shooting her own grandmother, but Luna acted like it wasn't a serious injury and blamed everything on Steffi. Although Steffi acknowledged that maybe things could have been different if Finn had been there for Luna growing up, she couldn't overlook Luna's crimes and predicted her prison return. Luna cried as she realized she would never have a place in Finn's life and pointed the gun at Steffi as she fumed. Meanwhile, Liam spoke to Hope Logan over the phone when she called to check on him. That gave Liam a chance to assure Hope that he was hoping for many more tomorrows and confirm that he'd go roller skating with Beth Spencer the next day. Carter Walton comforted Hope in the aftermath of that phone call as she struggled over Liam's condition and the thought of losing him. In Finn's office on Tuesday's B&B episode, Lee Finnegan maintained that Luna wasn't born bad. Finn reminded Lee that Luna had Sheila's DNA, but Lee pointed out that Finn did too and turned out to be a good person. Lee still blamed Poppy Nozawa for leading Luna down the wrong path, so she showed a little more pity for Luna before getting back to work. Once Finn was alone, he sent Steffi a text to ask for news on how things went with Hayes Forrester's art teacher. Since Steffi didn't respond, Finn was unsettled. Finn then listened to some of Sheila's voicemails and could hear how concerned she was about something regarding Luna. During a phone call with Liam, Finn offered updates on Sheila's worries and could feel that something was off. Liam decided he'd go check on Steffi at the beach house since he was closer than Finn was. Liam wound up running through the door and diving for the gun that Luna was holding on Steffi. There was another struggle, so Liam was shot in the chest as the gun went off. Steffi broke down as she ran to help Liam, and Luna insisted that she had no intention of shooting him. Luna continued to hold Steffi responsible for everything, but Sheila knocked some art supplies on the floor and caused a distraction. That gave Liam a chance to stumble over and get control of the gun. But Luna thought it was laughable that he was going to stop her since he could barely stand up. Luna also figured Liam was too cowardly to pull the trigger, but he suggested he was a dead man anyway. When Luna lunged forward, Liam fired a shot and caused her to collapse with a bullet wound to the abdomen. Finn showed up soon after, so he saw the chaotic scene with the bloody victims on the floor. Steffi insisted that Luna was to blame, despite Finn's brief suspicion that Sheila was to blame. Sheila encouraged Finn to focus on Liam, so Finn stooped down to help him as Steffi called 911. Luna was unconscious nearby as Liam also lost consciousness and seemingly went into the light. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Liam will prove he's a fighter at the hospital in the coming episodes, so stay tuned. The winds of fate howled through the cliffs of Malibu as a horrifying beach house encounter spiraled into chaos, igniting a deadly struggle that shattered lives, rekindled bitter feuds, and sparked a reckoning long overdue. This isn't just a tragedy, it's a transformation. It's a baptism by fire. And it all begins with a gunshot. A deadly confrontation at the beach house. Steffi Forrester never imagined the nightmare that would unfold when she confronted Luna Nozawa. Luna, emotionally frayed and twisted by secrets, betrayal, and the manipulations of Sheila Carter, cornered Steffi at the beach house. As Steffi tried to flee, Luna snarled, "Not so fast." Enter Sheila, uninvited and unstable, who tried to calm Luna but only escalated the chaos. Nose to nose, Luna and Sheila struggled over a firearm. A shot rang out. It was Luna's scream that pierced the room next. Whether she was shot or merely horrified that her bullet struck her grandmother, the blood told the story. But that wasn't the only bullet that would fly that day. The house turned into a battleground. The fallout, 3 victims, 1 shocking shooter. By Tuesday, the body count was rising. Sheila Carter fell, clutching a gunshot wound to the foot. Luna turned on Steffi, blaming her for everything. Finn, miles away, was racing against time. Hope Logan received a cryptic call from Liam Spencer, full of love, dread, and finality. And then it happened. Liam stormed into the beach house just as Luna pointed the gun at Steffi. A struggle ensued. Liam took a bullet to the chest. As he collapsed, Sheila caused a distraction by knocking over art supplies. In the confusion, Liam got hold of the gun, but Luna lunged at him. With one final desperate move, Liam shot Luna. She crumbled, blood soaking her shirt. Encouraging words and a father's guilt. Finn arrived seconds later to a horror scene, Luna down, Liam unconscious, and Steffi sobbing. Sheila pleaded for her son to help Liam, not her. Steffi called 911, and chaos turned to triage. At the hospital, Doctors Lee Finnegan, Grace Buckingham, and Bridget Forrester worked frantically in surgery. 3 gunshot victims went in. 1 would not come out. Finn's world was unraveling. The woman he thought he might save had confessed her pain in her final moments. She was tired of being unloved. Tired of being a secret. Her tears begged for forgiveness. Lee's coldness and Poppy's confession. Lee Finnegan's reaction was shocking. Known for her icy professionalism, she warned Finn to prepare for Luna's death, suggesting prison would be a mercy. But when Poppy arrived, the floodgates burst. Poppy confronted her sister and admitted she always loved Finn's father. Her grief was primal, raw and angry. Lee retorted with a warning. You raised a murderer. Now live with the consequences. A baptism in sorrow. The next morning, Finn stood alone at the beach. Waves crashed behind him as he waded into the surf with a small vial of Luna's ashes. With tears, he poured them into the sea, whispering a promise to never let her memory die. From this moment, he vowed, I begin again. This act of sorrowful baptism marked the first time Finn felt truly cleansed, of his guilt, of his blindness, and of his denial. He would no longer be silent. He would fight for truth. Liam's secret and the light. While Luna's fate sealed one storyline, Liam's situation sparked another. Rumors of his terminal brain tumor swirled. Doctors whispered about miracles. Others spoke of inevitability. Hope, devastated, leaned on Carter Walton for strength. Carter promised to be there for her and Beth, but even he admitted Liam's presence might not last long. In a moment suspended between life and death, Liam drifted into the light. But something pulled him back. Perhaps it was Beth's laugh echoing in his mind. Perhaps it was Hope's voice. He woke up. The hospital unravels. By midweek, the hospital turned into a war zone of emotional outbursts. Bill Spencer rushed in to see Liam, furious with himself for not realizing the depth of his son's illness. Brooke Logan comforted Hope, but it was clear she was barely keeping it together. Taylor and Ridge, heartbroken over what Steffi had endured, renewed their unity. Ridge admitted he'd been wrong about Brooke and Hope's innocence. Sheila's future, and one final threat. Sheila survived, barely. Her future uncertain, she lay in a hospital bed, restrained, whispering threats under her breath. She blamed Steffi, Finn, and the world for turning Luna against her. She was mine, she hissed. And you took her from me. Finn visited her, just once. She made her choices, he said coldly. And now I've made mine. He walked out without looking back. The aftermath, redemption, rage, and reunion. As the week ended, funerals loomed. So did prison sentences. Poppy faced the reality of losing everything. Lee returned to her work, seemingly unmoved, though deep inside, something cracked. Hope stood at Liam's bedside, holding his hand. You're still mine, she whispered. And in the shadows, Carter watched, knowing that his time with her might be fading. Luna's death was not just a loss. It was a spark. This was the baptism. The beginning. As a calm Malibu afternoon turns into a nightmare, The Bold and the Beautiful delivers a stunning and emotional baptism of blood, transformative, violent, and unforgettable. The beach house, once a safe haven, morphs into a battleground of betrayal and desperation as Luna Nozawa arrives, armed and emotionally unstable. What begins as a tense confrontation explodes into chaos when Steffi Forrester, attempting to escape Luna's rage, finds herself cornered. Just as she tries to flee, Sheila Carter bursts in, her presence a mix of misplaced protection and misjudged timing. Her sudden appearance only fuels Luna's fury. Luna raises the gun and hisses, "Not so fast." Steffi freezes, the tension in the room becomes unbearable. Luna and Sheila are now nearly nose to nose, arguing in frenzied whispers and heated breaths. Sheila tries to talk Luna down, urging her to put the gun away, to think of her future. Her words are both sharp and oddly maternal. But Luna won't be calmed. A struggle ensues. The gun twists between them. Then, a single deafening shot rings out. Luna gasps in horror. Sheila stumbles backward, clutching her foot. Blood pours from between her toes. Luna stares, dumbfounded. Has she really shot her own grandmother? Steffi, trembling, tries to escape again, but Luna stops her. The younger woman turns, eyes wild. This is your fault, she spits. He left because of you. Luna begins to unravel before Steffi's eyes. If you weren't in the way, Finn would still love me. We'd be a family, she cries. Steffi, shaken but defiant, pleads with Luna to think, urging her not to let hate win. But Luna isn't listening. Her hands shake as she aims the weapon at Steffi once more.